Yo, what's up, guys? Modern Warfare 3 has officially been released today. I'm going to be showing you my best graphic settings for Modern Warfare 3. So as you can see here, we're trying to maximize FPS here, and I think this graphic setting build will help every single person, no matter how bad your PC is or what console you're on. So display mode, we have full screen borderless. You can put this on exclusive if you want to crank out as much FPS as possible. Aspect ratio set to automatic. Display gamma is on 2.2 since I play on a computer monitor. If you're on a TV, you want to put that to 2.4. NVIDIA Reflex low latency is on. And then eco mode, we have that on custom, which is basically like not having it on at all. And then we have Vsync, which is off. Vsync menus off. Custom frame rate, you want to have this on. So when I'm in the menu, my custom frame rate limit is 80. If I'm tabbed out, I have it at 30, and if I'm playing gameplay, I want to try to have as much FPS as possible. I don't want to cap on my FPS. And then we have focus mode, which really doesn't do anything. We just have that at 90. HDR, you want to turn that off because that'll eat away your FPS here. And then for graphic presets, you want to have your resolution set to 100. But if you're trying to get more FPS, then you can lower this to whatever you feel comfortable with. If you're comfortable playing on a 1080p monitor, you can switch this to 1080p, but I play on a 1440p monitor, so I have that set to 100. And then for dynamic resolution, we have that off. And then for the upscaling and sharpening, I have fidelity cast here, and I have that cranked up to 90. 85 or 90 is fine. We have the VRAM scale target, which is 85. That really doesn't matter too much anymore. The variable rate shading, we just turn that off because that eats up FPS. And then these are the most important settings out of all of them so far. So for my texture resolution, I have it on low. If you have a beefy computer and you don't stream, you can put that on normal or high. But since I'm streaming while I play, I have this on low, and the game still looks beautiful as it is. For texture filter, we have that set to high. Depth of field, we have that off. Detail quality level, we have that low. I don't really care how beautiful the flowers look on the ground. I really don't care at all. So I have that on low, but if you want better looking flowers on the ground, you can set that to high. Particle resolution, we have that very low. I don't care about the sparks from a thermite. Who gives a shit? I just want more FPS so my game feels smoother when I'm playing. Bullet impacts, we have that set to on here. Persistent effects, we have that off. Shader quality, we have that on low. Low is fine if you want to see some shadows. It's very rare that you're going to be seeing someone above you and then you can see their shadow. It's happened to me a few times, but low still works perfectly for that. On-demand texture streaming, we have that off. Local texture streaming quality, we have that on the lowest setting. And then for your shadow quality here, we'll have that on low. Screen space shadows, we'll have that off. Ambient occlusion, we have that off. Screen space reflections, off. None of this shit matters. Static reflection quality is low. And then for tessellation, we have that off. Terrain memory, we have that set to the max here. Biometric quality, we have that off. And then for the physics quality, weather grid volumes, and water quality, we have that shit all set to off because I don't care about the water because the water looks like shit at least in Warzone 2, and I'm pretty sure it looks like shit in this game too. So we're not too bothered by that. And then for our view here, we're going to have the FOV set to 120. Now you can have this on whichever you feel comfortable. If you play closer to your monitor, you probably want a 120 FOV. If you play further away, you want a closer FOV. So that's really personal preference for you. The ADS field of view, we have that set to affected because affected means your ADS zooms to a value closer to the field of view setting, only applies to low magnification lens. So it doesn't zoom in as much, which is what I like because I want to see around me. Weapon field of view, we have that on wide. The weapon looks smaller, so that's really good. We don't want our weapon being so big in the frame, covering up potential enemies. Third person field of view, we have that set to 90. It doesn't really matter. Vehicle field of view is default. Nobody cares about this stuff. World motion blur, turn that shit off because it'll make your game look like absolute dog shit while you're running around. So you want to have that off. You want to have weapon motion blur. It's literally the same thing. Turn that shit off. Film grain is usually at 1. Set that shit to 0 because it'll make your game look way better. And then first person camera movement, third person camera movement, third person ADS transition, you want to have that set to at least 50%. So what that basically means is when you're like your camera's not moving as much, which is really good. And then while like there's an airstrike going on or something like that, so that's really helpful. And then third person ADS transition, nobody cares. Spectator camera, we just have that on games perspective. And inverted flashbang, I like to have that on because I don't feel like going blind when I'm playing this game. So I have that set to on. It'll just make my flashbangs a black screen instead of a bright white screen that gives you a seizure. So we have that off. And yeah, those are basically my graphic settings. I run about 200 FPS while I'm playing and not streaming. But if I am streaming, I'll probably go around like 160, 170 FPS right now in multiplayer. And now that's dependent on how good your PC is or what console you're on. So that's really dependent on what you're using. But for me, these are my best settings. And overall, I think these settings are a great balance for every single person, regardless of what their PC or system build is, because this is like the bare minimum. And from there, you can scale it higher to whatever you feel comfortable with. You can change any of those settings I just said to make them higher if you want better quality and less FPS. So that's the video for today, guys. Hope you guys enjoy Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to be playing it a lot on stream. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Thanks for watching. Peace!